keep it frank. He was doing the things to other people that was done to him. He learned from Russell Simmons, Clyde Davis. When those people are telling you that they were heavy into the drugs, they was heavy into beating women, these are behaviors and things that with drugs, pills, drinking, it can make this man into a monster, and that's what it did. It made him into a monster, bro. I'm with Puff, and he's in exotic bookstores and he's doing shopping. This is the first time I was ever in an exotic bookstore with Puff. So, I'm giving him his space. He's taking things off the shelves and stuff like that, because they gave him a brown paper bag. When they gave him a brown paper bag, he was just putting stuff in there. As he's going, I'm just looking at the places where he's picking stuff from, and then he picked quite a few of them down.
Gene Deal first drew public attention when he declared openly on various platforms, including a popular podcast, that he had no hesitation about testifying under oath if called by authorities. He shared firsthand accounts of the notorious freak-off parties, alleged drug-laden, extravagant gatherings where guests were reportedly coerced into non-consensual, intimate acts. Deal's statements include disturbing allegations that guests at Combs' events were secretly given spiked champagne, resulting in blackouts and compromised consent, a pattern he claims was recurrent over many years.
I'm like, okay. He put them in the bag. So when I went by there and I looked up there, and it said butt plugs. And I was like, hey, yo, what are you getting this for? And it said butt plugs. And he was like, yo, can I do my shopping by myself? I said, yeah, you can do it by yourself, brother.
These accounts are instrumental in the prosecution's narrative, which portrays these parties as not mere celebrations, but orchestrated events designed to enforce Combs' power and control, enabling illegal activities including abuse and blackmail, with video recordings allegedly used as leverage. Combs, once a towering figure in the entertainment industry and a successful mogul whose influence extended across music, fashion, and business, now finds himself on trial, facing life-altering accusations he vehemently denies. His fall from grace is underscored by the immense media attention and the courtroom drama unfolding in New York City, where Combs is physically present alongside potential jurors during the selection process.
Yeah, that picture is crazy, ain't it?
Mm-hmm.
And I told you, Puff blew up like crazy when he said, everybody thought I was lying.
And is there anything that you may want to confess tonight before you go in?
I keep everything right here.
There you go.
Or right here.
Yeah. You angelic all the time.
The charges against him are grave, including allegations of leading a criminal enterprise that facilitated prolonged drug-fueled orgies that lasted for days, where participants were allegedly trapped and forced to take part, according to prosecutors. This depiction paints a stark contrast between the lavish lifestyle Combs once enjoyed and the dark allegations that threaten his freedom. Central to the prosecution's case is Cassie Ventura, Combs' former girlfriend, who is expected to deliver powerful testimony describing years of abuse, exploitation, and coercion.
Sean Diddy Combs, once one of entertainment's most powerful moguls, accused of crimes so heinous, he faces the possibility of spending the rest of his life behind bars. He's denied all charges, and just a warning, this story contains accounts, descriptions, and visual content of actual or alleged events that some may find disturbing.
Mom, how are you feeling? How are you feeling today, Mom? How is your son?
Can't talk about the case at all.
All eyes are on this New York City courthouse as the federal trial for disgraced mogul Sean Diddy Combs begins.
Music mogul Sean Diddy Combs goes on trial today.
Combs is inside the courtroom along with those prospective jurors.
He faces multiple charges, including racketeering and sex trafficking.
The musician famous for hits like Bad Boy for Life.
Her upcoming statements aim to fill vital gaps in the case, describing in detail the dangerous environment within Combs' inner circle. Witnesses have also recounted horrendous personal experiences, such as one man who testified to being paid to have sex with Ventura and claimed to have witnessed Combs assault her on 2 separate occasions. The defense, in response, continues to deny all allegations.
Today was a monumental day when we're talking about Sean Combs, P. Diddy, Puff Daddy. At one point, he also had the actual key to New York City. So to see him today facing trial on federal criminal charges is completely a downfall of who Puff Daddy, who Sean Combs was.
Prosecutors allege he used his power to force women into prolonged drug-fueled orgies he called and then threatened them into silence.
The freak-offs, according to prosecutors, were these marathons. Some of them lasted days, and they were fueled by ecstasy or other party drugs. And women were not allowed to leave.
Day 2 of testimony in the Sean Diddy Combs trafficking trial. The prosecution's star witness, Combs' ex-girlfriend, Cassie Ventura, is expected to take the stand today. So far, the jury has heard graphic and very disturbing details from a man who says he was paid to have sex with Cassie Ventura. He also testified that he witnessed the music mogul assault her on 2 separate occasions. Combs has pleaded not guilty to all charges.
So let's go live now to CNN anchor and chief legal analyst Laura Coates right outside that courthouse in New York. Laura, so tell us more about when Ventura will take the stand. That is really such a big focus for today.
She will take the stand any moment now.
Arguing the testimony and evidence lack credibility. In an aggressive legal maneuver, Combs has filed a defamation lawsuit against Deal, accusing him of disclosing proprietary information with malicious intent. This countersuit serves multiple purposes. It attempts to punish Deal, deter other potential witnesses from coming forward, and signal to the courtroom and public alike that Combs will not tolerate perceived betrayals.
We are waiting to hear what might be explosive testimony from Cassie Ventura, the linchpin of the prosecution's case. Remember, we were told by the defense yesterday, this is the first time in 6.5 years since the death of the mother of 4 of Sean Diddy Combs' children, Kim Porter, tragically died of pneumonia, that the 2 of them will be in the same room face to face. The defense called it a moment to witness closure. What we will witness, though, is testimony where she will try to bridge the gap over an 11-year period of what the prosecution has described as abuse and violence and coercion and intimidation, all to have her engage in these so-called freak-offs, days-long drug-fueled sex encounters without consent. But just now in the courtroom, I witnessed something truly interesting. They are arguing as we speak with the judge over whether Cassie Ventura's husband can be in the audience. Cassie Ventura has just taken the stand. You're going to watch, and we will see in just a moment, Cassie Ventura, visibly pregnant, due in less than a month or so, confronted face to face with Sean Diddy Combs, her boyfriend and lover of more than a decade. The first time they'll be together. Now they want to make sure that her husband could not be in the courtroom. The defense is saying they may call Mr. Fine, who, remember, is a physical trainer who Diddy hired to actually train Cassie Ventura.
Legal experts caution, however, that such retaliation could backfire by spotlighting Deal's testimony, potentially strengthening his role as a key witness and bolstering the prosecution's case. Meanwhile, Combs' defense team seeks to undermine Deal's credibility by suggesting his motivations may be driven by personal grievances or financial gain, a common tactic in high-stakes trials involving former insiders. As the trial progresses, tension continues to mount inside and outside the courtroom. Ventura's testimony is anticipated to be a pivotal moment, as it represents a rare confrontation between her and Combs, who has maintained a professed innocence throughout.
And D. Ferg actually worked with, the music companies. I guess he actually designed the artwork for Uptown Records, like the actual cat.
Yes, he did.
For Uptown Records. Then later on, he went on to design the Bad Boy logo.
Yes, he did. Yeah, D did.
Dope. Okay. And then at one point, Puffy actually became part of Same Gang with you guys.
Yes, he did. We were outside on 144th and 8th Avenue, and Puff used to always come and try to go to the parties with us. At that time, we was going to Tim Dog and Corey, I think, I don't know Corey last name, Corey Jacobs or something like that. He was, they had the Butt Naked crew. We was going to their parties. We was going to Peter Shoe party. We were going to Black and Gold, Sparkles Entertainment, the skating rink, just everything that was happening, Willie Burgers at night. And then we were also going to the Apollo Theater. So he wanted to hang with us. He wanted to hang with us because he was an intern for Uptown. and he wanted to, get to know people from Harlem. So because D. Ferg did that logo for Uptown Records, and we knew Tim, we knew Heavy D and everybody like that, he started wanting to hang with us. So then he just was there too much. And then somebody said, yo, man, we're just gonna jump him in. You know what I'm saying? So if he got out of his car this particular day, he got out of the car, he was driving those Volkswagen Cabaretos with the Cabriolet. All right, the Volkswagen Cabriolet with the sunroof on it. They say once we get around to grab him, and then we just gonna torture his ass. So when that torturing was like, we was right there next to the store, it was outside. We'll get a bunch of Little Debbie cakes and everything, smash them in the head, sprinkle them with champagne and everything like that, and make them sing gang and everything like that. So when Puff came out the car, the little cats grabbed him. But Puff wiggled away from him, and they didn't catch him until, we was on 144th Street. They didn't catch him until he got to 127th Street. So that's like, that was like close to 20-something blocks. So they caught him, brought him back. You know what I'm saying? They roughed him up a little bit and say, now you same game. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. And Puffy, not only was he an intern at Uptown, but he started doing his own parties, and he was really successful at the parties.
Yeah, he was doing, he was actually doing Upside Hype. Did you know Unsigned Hype on Monday nights?
Yeah.
That was when Leaders of the New School, where Busta Rhymes was in, and different groups, they would come there on Monday night and perform. And then on Wednesday night, he had the Red Zone doing parties, what he called Daddy's House.
Mm-hmm.
Adding to the emotional weight, Ventura recently appeared visibly pregnant and is due soon, intensifying the scrutiny and public interest in her statements. The court has even debated whether her husband should be allowed in the courtroom during her testimony to prevent any undue distractions or conflicts, illustrating how charged the atmosphere has become. The scope of the federal charges Combs faces is unprecedented, encompassing alleged offenses dating back to 2004. Prosecutors accuse him of running a broad criminal enterprise that included forced labor, kidnapping, bribery, and obstruction of justice. They assert Combs exploited his sprawling business empire, including record labels, event promotion companies, and security firms, to facilitate and enforce illegal operations.
If you don't believe that they're gonna try to hit him with those guns in there, they saving all that for last. The drugs, the guns, they'll do another superseding indictment and add those two if he don't take the plea.
But not only celebrities, I don't think it's only celebrities gonna be shook. He had politicians in there. He had princes in there.
Uh-oh.
He also had a couple of preachers in there.
Oh, damn.
Is he talking about who I think he's talking about?
You think?
Is he?
Hallelujah.
Cat Williams commented on that.
Cat Williams definitely brought him on a preacher.
These claims are supported by testimonies from insiders like Ventura and Deal, who vividly describe the mechanisms of coercion and control employed within Combs' network. Outside the legal arena, newly released surveillance footage dramatically depicts Combs' arrest at a Manhattan hotel. Despite Combs reportedly coming to New York with the intention of surrendering voluntarily, federal agents were waiting to take him into custody immediately. Now held in a harsh federal jail, Combs faces stringent conditions including isolation in a special housing unit known for 24-hour lockdown protocols. His transition from a lavish lifestyle, once owning a $50 million Miami mansion, to confinement in a federal detention center marks a dramatic fall both legally and personally.
Now to Sean Diddy Combs' investigation. New surveillance video shows Combs being taken into custody in a Manhattan hotel last week. Our senior investigative correspondent, Aaron Kotursky, is at the scene of his arrest. Good morning, Aaron.
Good morning to you, Robin. This is the hotel where Sean Combs was arrested a week ago. You can now see how that arrest went down. This morning, watch how federal agents took Sean Diddy Combs into custody. He's seen in this video entering the Park Hyatt Hotel in Midtown Manhattan with others when agents from Homeland Security Investigations approach and separate him. They place Combs under arrest and lead him out the front door in handcuffs. His lawyer said Combs had come to New York 2 weeks earlier with the intention of turning himself in. He did not expect the agents to be waiting at his hotel last Monday night.
Why doesn't the government want him to turn himself in? Because then they can't ask for detention. So they go and they arrest him. They arrest a guy who came to New York to turn himself in. 1, 2, 3.
A day earlier, Combs seen out and about in New York with his family, seemingly in good spirits. Combs has pleaded not guilty to racketeering, conspiracy, sex trafficking, and prostitution charges, part of why 2 different federal judges denied him bail.
This has to be a 100% culture shock. I can't imagine living a lifestyle of the incredibly rich and famous and then going into this very dark, impersonal, cold, austere facility.
Combs, who lived in this $50 million Miami mansion, is now in an isolated unit of a federal jail in Brooklyn known for miserable conditions.
The special housing unit is a 24-hour lockdown unit, which means that any movement within that unit is controlled and coordinated, and no inmate moves outside of his cell without being in full restraints, to include leg irons, handcuffs, a belly chain, and at least 2, if not 3 staff members escorting them.
When Combs first arrived at jail, he was monitored for suicide. That's common for any high-profile inmate. But his attorney says Combs is not suicidal. Rather, guys, he's focused on defending himself.
His attorneys, however, maintain he is focused and intent on mounting a rigorous defense. The trial has also been marked by allegations of witness intimidation. One unnamed key witness reportedly disappeared and became unreachable, fueling concerns about interference with the judicial process. Records show hundreds of calls originating from Combs' detention facility to family and associates, which prosecutors argue are attempts to dissuade witnesses from cooperating or to obstruct justice. These factors have led judges to take extra precautions during jury selection and throughout the proceedings to maintain fairness. Compounding the intrigue are allegations from industry insiders and former associates that Combs took extreme measures to silence those who might testify against him, including reputed incidents targeting celebrities and other prominent figures who witnessed or were embroiled in the controversies.
But by the time this interview drops, this is going to be out in the ether for sure. It's ways in this industry people go about doing things.
April
11th last year, bad headache. Asked my boy for an Advil. I was gone for 20 days. I don't remember anything.
What are some of the things that you heard behind the scenes that were going on before this indictment actually dropped?
Well, I know he poisoned Jamie Foxx.
Talking about when, what was it, a year or 2 ago or so, when Jamie Foxx got real sick and everybody said he had a stroke.
I was kind of careful about some of the things I said, but you know, now that I know that certain people off the street, the money is dried up, you know, so now it's time to play ball.
According to new reports, while Jamie Foxx may have passed off his appearances at Diddy's infamous events as jokes, the man was actually there, and like Diddy's victims, he witnessed some of the worst parts of the industry. Well, it turns out that knowledge almost cost him his life. Did Diddy do something to him all this time? Oh yes. New details from a former bodyguard just revealed that Jamie's hospitalization was in fact directly tied to Diddy. In his words, the rapper's goal was to take out another piece on the board that could land him in cuffs.
Is there any idea why Diddy would want to poison Jamie Foxx?
You get called to testify if you on camera and some of this footage.
Did you notice that Jamie Foxx hadn't been publicly seen much since his hospitalization last year? That had to do with a lot more than just his health. Per the claims of several industry players, Jamie was seemingly hiding for
the whole time when Jamie was out. For the industry insiders, Diddy did that to him.
His life. Thing is, Diddy seemingly never expected the actor to survive, let alone be able to stand on his own 2 feet again. But luckily for him, he beat the alleged poison. And do you know what he allegedly claimed to do immediately after waking up at the hospital? He called the feds on Diddy, folks.
Jamie Foxx states in the special that Diddy was responsible for what happened to him, and he is the one that called the FBI on him.
These narratives underscore the stakes involved and suggest a landscape where power, loyalty, and betrayal intersect in dangerous ways. The courtroom drama encapsulates larger themes of justice, power and accountability within celebrity culture. Combs's reputation as a music mogul with a near mythic status now clashes starkly with public revelations of alleged abuse, coercion, and exploitation behind closed doors. The trial not only serves as a legal reckoning for Combs, but also as a cultural touchstone, raising difficult questions about the responsibilities of powerful figures and the challenges faced by those courageous enough to come forward. As testimony unfolds day by day,
I believe he was a coward. There's no way he should have let that happen to his kids.
What is this? That could be his sons. If that is accurate, I wouldn't be surprised because the allegations put forward in that lawsuit implicated his sons.
I think that was wrong. If them was the damn Rockefellers or somebody else, they wouldn't have had their kids handcuffed like that. I believe he knew what was going down, and he probably thought they wasn't gonna do that to the kids, but they did. Gene, did you see him beat Kim? I said, on that particular case, no. Have I seen him rough Kim up? Yeah, I've seen him done that. You understand? And I've asked Kim, you all right, you good? Y'all good? And she just look and stuff, he'll stop. Well, I seen his wrist ripped up. I would testify that I seen his wrist wrapped up in a t-shirt. He told them they wouldn't let him know what they were doing, but it seemed like that something might happen before Labor Day.
Wow, before Labor Day?
Yeah.
every detail, from Deal's accounts of drug spiking and coercion, to Ventura's allegations of sustained abuse, to Combs' aggressive legal countermeasures, shapes both the jurors' understanding and the wider public's perception. This high-profile case remains emblematic of the complex intersection of fame, influence, and the pursuit of justice within the modern entertainment world, promising a verdict that will reverberate well beyond the courtroom walls.